Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another board game unboxing, and this may look a little familiar, as this was our first unboxing, the original game of Feast for Odin. But as you can see here, this is the Feast for Odin, the Norwegians expansion. And this is an expansion that's not so much an expansion as it is an update to the game. It does add some new elements to it, including a new game board, some new pieces and such. But it also tightens up the game and fixes some of the maybe not so balanced stuff that was in the original game. But it is something that, again, has been on our radar for a while. And I would say it's maybe not such an essential expansion as it is an expansion that really, I don't know, I guess you could call it essential in a way, as it does improve the game and tighten up some things in the game that weren't so balanced. But not to say that the game was imbalanced, but it just that makes the game a more streamlined. Well, I don't know about streamlined because there's still a lot of stuff you can do, but you'll see when we open it up and check things out here. So we have our, forgot to put our little Christmas tree out here. Whoops. Of course, our camera's off now. Whoops. And there's Miss Mags. Say hi, Miss Mags. Miss Mags likes the Christmas tree. She's very festive about Christmas here. So she's going to say hi to all her fans. Okay, Mags. Anyway, let's get a little bit out of focus here now. But we got our Christmas tree here now, which we had in our original video, our Charlie Brown type Christmas tree. So we'll put that in the background there. And let's get into this expansion here. So, all right. So, Feast for Odin and the Norwegians expansion. And the sound may be a little different than our other videos because we are using our laptop for this, having some kind of an issue. There's Miss Mags over there. Having some kind of a little issue with our main computer right now that we use for the videos. It seems to be running really slow, so while we fix that, we are going to use our laptop. So, all right, so here it is with the wrapping off. So hopefully this will work out alright because you can only do an unboxing once. So here it is. So you can see the Feast for Odin and some of the parts and stuff that are in it. So let's take a look at this and see if we can see what's going on in this. So immerse yourself deeper in the epic saga of a Feast for Odin with Norwegians expansion. Discover new strategies, develop new crafts, and find new vistas for exploration, all for the glory of the All-Father. The Norwegians adds new modular action boards specifically suited for varying player counts with new spaces and a fifth action column. New exploration tiles, new buildings, and new goods with a new goods box. Mags is scratching the bookcase over there. Okay. New goods box added a world of possibilities to the acclaimed strategy game by award-winning designer Uwe Rosenberg. So expansion requires a Feast of Odin to play, of course. So all right, so let's take a look and see what's inside the box. Again, it doesn't change the player count. Still 1 to 4 players. Still 14 and above. All right, we'll throw that there. So definitely not as thick a box as it was before. So we start off with our instruction manual here. So the first expansion, the first main expansion. I think maybe the first total expansion. I don't think they had any minor expansions or anything yet that I know of. Could be wrong on that. But anyway, so it's very thin. It doesn't add much to it. And so these are some things that are included in it. It's got some new animals. It's got a new board there for the to put some new forged items. You can forge in it. Again, some new animals. It's got horses and pigs. The islands are actually, I think it's got 4 new islands in it, and it actually, some of the iconography on the island tiles replaces, so they totally replace the tiles in the actual game, in the original game. So as you can see, I think it's got a new boat board too, because you're going to be able to do a little more immigration with the whaling ships and stuff. And each person will start with a building tile to start with. So yeah. So again, this is just a fold out. Looks like 4 pages of fold out. Some more stuff to do here. Some of your sheds, actually. Each person will start with a shed. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do this. This isn't actually a book. It's more like a pamphlet. But each person, these are both double-sided over here, these sheds. So each person will start with a unique one. And it's going to have victory point tokens. So a lot of the... it's got ton. If you have played regular Feast of Odin, you know it's got a ton of cards, occupation cards. So what this enables you to do is, if you don't want to use some of those occupation cards that you get, you can discard them, and you'll have a certain amount of these tokens in order to exchange them for victory points. It also has a new extended mountain strip in it, as you can see. It's a little bit longer than the other ones, and some supply boards. So course of play, so it shows you what different things are. So some of the islands require you to have certain boats to use. So the iconography now is on the actual island board now. So as you can see here, ship actions. So it tells you what ships you can use to get on there. Sorry if it's not focusing quite as well. And then, actually, so it might be 5 pages, because then it's got this one that folds into page 4. So it shows you the new iconography on the player boards and everything, top there. And I know it's got, and then it shows you right here, the artisans' sheds and how they're used and everything. And I think this right here is the differences between the... and these might be some cards you can't use. I think there's some cards you can't use when you use this expansion in it for various reasons. And it kind of gives you a detailed list of those. So that's pretty much it. Just a nice short 5-page pamphlet. It's got a new box here to put the new player pieces in. So that's a new punching to do, which we always like. So it didn't have enough already. It's got more here. It's got one additional one. The other one had 2 full ones, and this one's got another one here. And I don't think both of them were totally used in the first one. I think there might have been a couple that weren't used or something like that. But anyway, so this is another one of these. Let's see here. And then you got a new score pad, of course, because you've got some additional things to account for. Yeah, so it's got some different things to account for in here. It looks like it's... I'm not sure exactly what they are. Anyway, I know it's... Should have probably had one from the original box. But if you watch that video, you can see the difference in the two. But I know this adds like an additional thing to it. But yeah, so you get a small pad of those, which we'll be copying. They are double-sided, so that's cool. Alright, and so here are the new island boards here and some goods. So it looks like Iceland, which we had in the original game. So you can see the iconography up there. It tells you, I think you can use whaling boats for these now. And it requires, no, actually you can't. But it does require you to use the 2-player space there. 2 meeple space. 2 workers. And we can use the Nar or the other boat there. The Viking boat and the exploration boat. And this right here is different. The emigration there. Before you had to emigrate, you couldn't emigrate with the whaling boats. Now you can, but they're like half as big, a little less than half as big. So, and then this is a new good here. It looks like a new type of fur. from one of the animals. Actually, this is one of the hunting things I think you can get. And another good on the back of this right here, the blue good. So the green and blue goods. Okay, so here we go. We got here's a board now. Instead of having, outlined places to put the blacksmith goods, you just place them on here, which makes them easy. You don't have to put them in any specific place. Makes it a little easier for setup. And these are the little tokens here that you get. I think it goes up to 4. I think 4, 3, 2. I think victory points. And again, these can be used to trade in some of the occupation cards that you don't use if you don't decide not to use them. And then here's some new goods. So this looks like some kind of an anvil thing up top. And then this one is looks like some kind of a chain armor, followed by a curved like sword type thing. And then another sword there. And then, actually they were upside down. There you go. And these two are upside down anyway. So that is looks like a balance of some sort here. Like a weights and measures thing. And then that looks some kind of a metal pan, it looks like. Anyway, these are different things you can pillage. Or craft, I guess you could say. Alright, so now some of the new animals here. The horses. And the horses breed the same way. You'll have a pregnant side here. And the non-pregnant side here. So the pregnant side's worth more. Another immigration boat there. And then here is the Isle of Skye. I'm not sure if that one was... And then on the back of it is a Wexford. So I think there are 4 tiles and they're double-sided. Wexford is another tile. You can emigrate to. And this one, no, it doesn't use the Nar on that one either. I mean the whaling boat. This one uses the whaling boat. So Isle of Skye, as you can see, has a little whaling boat right there. Okay, and then, so these are the little asymmetrical things you'll get at the beginning of the game. So you get a pigsty, an armory, and a lumberjack's hut. So you can use either side of these. And you can use to put the pig on, obviously. And in the backs of the pig is the hunting lodge. The back of the armory is the cowshed, which is the cattle. And then the back of the lumberjack hut is the barn where you can breed your... So yeah, so you got your barn there for the back of the lumberjack hut. Okay. Sorry, we had a little pause in our video there, so had to splice a couple of videos together. Alright, so moving on here. So we have our other 2 islands here with the backside. So the Outer Hebrides, that's new. And that's got 2 workers. 2 worker space you can use that one for. Same thing with I think this one might be new too, Islay. More horses. And then the backs of the Islay is the Waterford Isle, which I think was in the first game. Could be wrong on that one. That requires 3 workers. And then Cork requires 3 workers too on the back of the Outer Hebrides. So yeah, so there you go. So actually, there might be 8 islands because it looks like we got 6 so far. Oh yeah, I did say we had 8. I mean, we might have. No, this is 2, 4, 6. Yeah, this would be 8. Okay. So the Shetland. And this requires just 1 worker, and you can use a whaling boat as well as the other boats for it. Same thing with the Faroe Islands. I know that was in the first one. You can use the 1 worker and the whaling boat. More horses, more of those other skins there, hides. And then the backs of those are the Raffin Island, which I believe was in the first one. It requires 3 workers, and you have to use the pillaging boat there, the big one. And then this one right here is Bear Island. I know was in the first one too. So just a little bit better iconography than those. So these are replaced the boards and more of those goods there. Alright, so now here's some more of the other stuff. So these are the antlers and the... I'm not sure exactly what that is. Some kind of a... I don't know. It's like almost like Christmas tree type stuff. But so the pigs here, and the pigs breed. One thing about the pigs is the pigs breed every round. So every round, as long as you have 2 pigs, they'll mate and get you another pig every round. But as you can see, they're not worth as much. They're only worth 1 victory point. And the backs of the pigs are the wreath floral things there. And then the antlers, the backs of those are the... let's see what they are. Those are green, so the back will be the blue. So it looks like some more updated fine goods there. So there you go for that. And then, oh yeah, this is the new boat board there. And as you can see, it's got the 2 little immigration things right here for the whaling boats. And you can buy still buy the boats for a certain amount of silver. Alright, just a couple more sheets here. So this right here, this will be, so now the your main board here, your action board, comes in 3 parts, and it'll be according to the number of players. So this is the 4-player side. As you can see, it's got 5 columns now. So it's got the 1 for 1 worker, like it had before. The second column is 2 workers, third column is 3, fourth one is 4, and then the second one is either 1 or 2. Now you may wonder why it says 1 or 2 on that, and the reason being is that as soon as you take that last column, the 5th column action there with either 1 or 2 workers, that has to be your last action of that round. So in other words, you're going to want to save that action to the end, because if you do it first, you'll lose all your other workers. So, but anyway, it's a powerful action there. But this is the top part of it. So as you can see, it's got elk hunt. That's what they are, elk antlers there. So that's new to this expansion. And then I think these are kind of the same. It's got the new elk. Let's see if I can get the hunting game 2. That's new. So catching fish now. That's a new thing too. Before you could just buy fish, now you can catch fish. So there are some new action things in it. So this is the top part. The back of this is for the 1 to 3 player sides, and you can see there's a gap there in that. So there's certain things you can't do, and the one a little bit tighter for the 1 to 3 player game. So this is the top action space, and then action board. And then this one I think is the middle. No, actually that's the bottom. They did not put these in order. So here's the second action board here, and this is the 3 to 4 player side. So this one, 3 to 4 players will use this, and yeah, that's a new space right there. And then the one to the right of it's new, and I think there's a couple other ones that are probably new also. But sorry, you can't really see it totally. Anyway, and then that's the back of this. It's got a gap in it, so a couple of gaps, so just 1 gap. And this is for the 1 to 2 player side. So some of these you'll flip over depending upon how many players there are. As you remember, the main player board in the other one, I think I want to say like around 50 actions or so, give or take. But it was all dependent. Didn't matter the player count; they were all the same. So this tightens up the game a little bit. And then finally, the last one here is the bottom part of the board, and it's got some things for emigration for the. Let's give it a chance to focus. So that bottom right there, that's emigration for the. That's not going to focus, is it? Come on. Anyway, that's emigration for the Nar there. I mean for the keep calling it the Nar, the whaling boat. And here's the top part there. So there you go. So that island right there shows you what island you can get on with those boats. these ones are kind of the same, I think. So, alright, so there's that. And it looks like there's an extra island here. So maybe there's 10 islands. Who knows? I think maybe there are 10 islands. So that's another Isle of Man. And then just a couple more of the sheds. So these are even more sheds you can use. The whaling hut. And on the back of the whaling hut is the spinnery. So it gives you extra spaces to put some goods. And then the mason's field here. Put some stones on there and some other stuff. Allows you to get some goods. And on the back of that is the beekeeper. Just got some. You can put a meat, it looks like, on that. Interesting. And then the ice house. Put some meat and fish on it, which makes sense. And on the back of that is the hermit's hut, which you can, just allows you to get rid of some green goods you can place next to each other, which you normally can't do. Looks like it give you some antlers there, possibly, and a little bit of cash. So that's pretty much it. That is the Feast for Odin, Norwegians expansion. Again, we look forward to getting this one to the table. We're going to add this one to our... No new cards in this one. No, the other one had tons of occupation cards, so you really didn't need any of that, which I'm kind of glad they didn't add anymore. Sometimes they add too much stuff, but this does not add any more of those. But looks like some good components. They'll tighten things up and make it a little bit... we'll have to test it out and see how the gameplay is on that. So, alright, so that is it for the Feast for Odin Norwegians expansion. We have one more expansion to do, and that is right over here, as you can see. Our Terraforming Mars Kickstarter, as you can see, that middle one there, that's the expansion we got for Kickstarter, and then the base game in back there with the new player boards, and the little Prelude expansion, which we decided to pick up, which added some asymmetrical start to the game. So there it is, a Feast for Odin Norwegians expansion. So hope you enjoyed that. Take care, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. Hope 2020 is awesome for everyone. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next unboxing video. Bye-bye now.